Hey, what's up? This is Gary from Raz Rentals, and today I'm very excited to talk to you about Super7's brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates Glow in the Dark Slash. Yeah, unfortunately, Slash didn't get one of the cool subtitles, like Mutagen Ooze Leonardo or my favorite Bug Zapper Blue Baxter Stockman. He's just Glow in the Dark Slash. And that's not the only disappointing thing I feel about this guy. The other thing is they decided to leave out the mailer, and he doesn't have a cool slipcover. Is this the future of Ninja Turtle Ultimates? Now they're just going to come in plastic bags like this. All of the villains in this Glow in the Dark series had a very cool blue slipcover with some nice glow in the dark effects around the manhole here, and some glow in the dark on the back. But this guy has zip. Like, I understand that they're probably taking some measures to cut down costs. I get that. I would have said get rid of the mailer. But, I mean, the slipcover, I don't know, not having that takes away some of the prestige of this action figure. Like, to me, some of the exciting thing about getting these Ultimates in the mail was you would get that mailer, and then you would open it up, and you'd get to the slipcover, and then as you'd open up that slipcover, it would feel like Christmas. Like, oh my gosh, look at this action figure inside of here. But in all honesty, I also feel a little conflicted about it because a couple months ago, I decided to cut the fronts off of all my slipcovers so that I would have the manhole picture. And then I also cut off the biographies of this regular packaging here and decided to junk everything else. Because after collecting this line for the past 3 years, you just eventually you acquire like multiple tubs of just packages, and you're like, well, this is a waste of space. I don't need all this. So I kept the stuff that I liked and got rid of everything else. But if I was a mint uncard collector, this would annoy the crap out of me. Like, not having the slipcover ruins the consistency of the line. That would be one of those moments, because with my crazy OCD, where if they didn't all match up, I would possibly be like, well, I don't need this anymore. Like, they don't even match. I mean, obviously it's not that bad. And what you really want is this very awesome looking action figure inside. But, it's just a change in this Ultimates series. And when it comes to collectors, I would imagine change is bad. So, yeah, but this guy, I mean, he still looks fantastic. I love the coloring on this guy, and I can't wait to open him up. We're going to rip right through this plastic bag. Before I pull him out, I'm going to do like a little bit of a side-by-side comparison of him in the actual Slash box that came out before. I mean, there's not going to be a lot to cover because there's no slipcover, but all right. So with your original Slash action figure, you would have had the slipcover here. And I saved Slashes because I knew this review was coming up, so I wanted to have the full package. Not that it really made a difference. So the new things that they've added here, ages 14 plus, Super 7. There is this glow in the dark. Is it really glow in the dark though? It doesn't feel like regular glow in the dark. I'm gonna have to check that and show you now if it's glow in the dark or not, because usually there's like a little bit of a it's like a paint or something like that. It's like raised off the cardboard. Here I think it's just colored this color. You look over here, all this I almost said ecto glow. It's glow in the dark. And then on the back here, we'll see too if this is glow in the dark, but the biography is still exactly the same. Everything's pretty much the exact same. It's just different colors. It's like collecting McFarlane toys back in the day. And I am going to do a big compare of this guy with the regular Ultimate Slash. But yeah, in box, this guy looks pretty amazing. You can see all of his weapons in there just fine. You could sort of see his hands down at the bottom of the back of the package and some of his grenades back there. And I don't know, I just always love the face on this Ultimates Slash action figure. If you take a look here, you can see that this is one of the other villains. This was Baxter Stockman's, and that was Muckman's. So his is a little different. The good guys had a reddish brick, while the villains had the blue. Actually, this is a different type of blue, so I thought maybe they were uniform, because the Foot Soldier and Baxter, I believe, are. Yeah. Let's take a look and see real quick if this is glow in the dark or not. Now, before going any further, I should mention that this guy went up for sale, I think, back in January or February. I know I ordered mine on February 10th, and at the time there was a discount on him. So originally he was $60, but because of the discount, he cost me $51 plus $17.15 in shipping, which is wow, and of course tax. So altogether, I spent $72.24 on this guy. And with that, now it's time for me to open this guy up, move him around. Hopefully everything is nice and copacetic with him. You know, hopefully his joints aren't bad, and hopefully his arms aren't broken or anything. I don't know. But I'll talk to you in a second. So here he is, free from his prison of cardboard and plastic, ready to light up your room as you try to fall asleep. Is that the boogeyman? No! That's the Ultimates Glow in the Dark Slash. I love the colors on this guy. I think he looks great. I love the highlights of like blue all over his body. I think that's such a nice touch that I really like, especially like his gums there. We can actually see it nice and thick. He does have some problems that I'll get into, but you know, just right off the bat, visually, like I love this guy. I love the greens and the pinks and the yellows and everything. He just looks so spiffy. First, before we do like a side-by-side comparison with him and the original Ultimates Slash, which I think is definitely one of the best Ultimates action figures to be released. There's just something about him that seems so cool, you know. We're just going to take a close look at this guy, where I will discuss, you know, just the nice details and his articulation and whatnot. Now, I guess before that, I will mention this, that one of the biggest missteps, or I don't think it's an accident, I think it was intentional, they only gave you 2 ninja stars. Can you believe that crap? Look, he has 3 pegs on his belt for ninja stars, right? You got 2 on that side and 1 on the other side. If you look at Slash, regular Slash, see, he's got 1 ninja star there. And then you have like the heavy duty, thick ninja star right there. And then the, you know, the scary looking ninja star right there, which is just how the original Slash was from 1990. 1 normal star, and then the, you know, the same as the side star. So I don't know what's up with that. You know, there wasn't even a spot in the tray or anything like that. It was an intentional choice to leave that off for who knows why. I guess they're saving some money. I don't even remember if it was listed in the original listing when I pre-ordered this thing, if it was supposed to have 3 stars or if it said 2 ninja stars. I guess I should have paid attention. Oh, and one more thing. I should mention that this guy glows like crazy. I'm not sure if he's the best glowing action figure in this line so far, but I'll do a glow in the dark lineup, you know, where I will have all of the glow in the dark action figures, except Michelangelo, because I never bought him yet. As I said in my out of package shot, I love the color of this guy. Like, he is just so vibrant and he just pops, you know? The pinks, the greens, the yellows, and the blues just all look wonderful together with this like white glow in the dark skin. I especially love the blue shading on his muscles. I think it looks spectacular. Not only does it accent and bring out the muscle definition, but it also reminds me of comics or anytime that I have to shade something that's white when I'm coloring a picture, you know. It's just a stylistic choice that really grabs my eye. I can't explain it. I don't know. There's just something about that blue color that, you know, sort of reminds me of being a kid or like Winston Zedmore's suit from the real Ghostbusters. I don't know. It just takes me back for some reason. For the most part, the paint is very clean with only a few exceptions, you know, like here behind the S part of the belt right there. There's a little bit of pink on his forehead here, but it's barely noticeable. I mean, the most important parts are like his teeth, and his teeth just look immaculate. You know, they look spectacular. I especially love how how like the skull and crossbones pop on his belt. Another great thing about this action figure is they painted these ropes on his shoulder pads. You know, that was actually a criticism I had of the original Ultimate Slash because they didn't paint it. And I was like, well, if this is supposed to be the Ultimate and that wasn't painted in the past, and you should paint that now. You know, that's what we were all hoping for with these Ultimates action figures. But here they painted it and it looks good. You know, I don't know, it's like these pinks and greens really remind me of like, I don't know, Trapper Keepers. And like No Fear stuff. Maybe like Saved by the Bell. It really reminds me of like the 80s and 90s, and usually like people crap on all that, and I get that because, you know, it can be a little ugly, but I don't know, just for some reason everything looks fantastic on this guy. It's probably because these colors are on top of this amazingly built action figure. You know, I've said it many times and I'll say it before. This Slash action figure is just an amazing action figure. Like, the detail and the shell and everything just looks great. I love this green here. You can tell a little more that these spikes are separate because there's a little bit of a gap. You don't really notice that as much on the other Slash, maybe because the shell is darker. But I don't know. It looks all good. And even though you can see like these, like the pegs here or whatever in the knee joints and the ankles and everything, you can look past all that because everything else looks so visually appealing. And I'm not just trying to shower him with praise, you know. I just really can't find anything negative to say about the colors or the sculpts. I will say a little bit of negative stuff about the articulation, though, because, you know, as usual, what you can expect with a Super 7 Ultimates action figure, you can find with this guy, like loose hip joints. It's not that bad. I've seen some people online say that theirs are worse. I think very loose. Mine are still pretty good, but you know, sometimes those start to wear down fairly quickly. So we'll see. Articulation wise, you have a ball jointed head. You can look up. You can look straight. You can look a little bit to the sides. The shoulders rotate around and they have a hinge. You have a bicep cut right there. And this shoulder pad here is attached to the bicep, so it moves, which is pretty nice. It moves very clean. I like that. The elbow joint right here has a hinge and a swivel. Although the elbow joint kind of gets stuck a little bit, but you can get past it. I don't know what's there, but it's something is giving it some sort of resistance. The elbow or the wrist joint here has a swivel and a hinge. Got a little bit of pink there and there, but I don't know. I like the claws, the green claws. You can always win me over with greens and blues, I guess. But the upper torso does not rotate. Down at the bottom, there's like a ball joint inside of here, like above the pelvis. So you can kind of move the legs around like this or twist them. but that's a little sturdy, so that's good. The hip joints here, like I said, they rotate outwards. You can swivel them around, and you can move them forwards and back. Like I said, mine's a little stiff right now, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll start to give out a little bit. The tail here rotates. The knee joints have a hinge and can swivel. And then the ankle joints have a hinge and ankle rockers. So, altogether, this guy is pretty good. You can easily attach his Ninja Stars to the belt. Actually, that went on there real easy. Oh, that's because that's the wrong one. That's supposed to be for the regular Ninja Star. These super sharp. These Ninja Stars are the ones that would like really, mess you up when they hit you. Let's see, this one's getting a little tricky. I don't know, for some reason I'm having a hard time getting that one on. It's on there a little bit, but I feel like it's going to fall off at any moment. And then right here you can attach his grenades. These hot pink grenades. Looks like he's going to throw like a perfume bomb at you or something like that. Come on. Well, okay. And then back here you do have another a hole here, so you can put like his Psycho Psy in there. I usually always have him carry around the Psycho Psy since it's sort of like his signature weapon. The belt is attached at the shell in here. Like, you can't remove the belt. If you did, you would have this weird, I don't know, tube or something sticking out of the back of a shell that wouldn't look right. But yeah, I need that Ninja Star right there. Just like the Ultimate Slash, he also does have an extra head. And it's, fairly easy to remove the head in there. Look at this giant ball peg right there. It's ridiculously big. Putting on the other head. Oh, jeez. Jeez, takes a little bit of effort, but man, look at that expression. Obviously it's not as cool as the other one, but still, I love that expression, this closed mouth slash face. So here's a side-by-side comparison with the, the brand new glow-in-the-dark Slash and the original Ultimate Slash. Now, I should say this to begin with, that this Slash was amazing, all right? And I said in my Slash Ultimates review that he was a perfect recreation of this original 1990 Playmates Slash, only with added paints, especially like on the skull and crossbones. Even the black in there around the S. And even though I have the purple belt on this Slash, his belt was actually a mix of the black and purple belt. Some of the details were black and some of them were purple. So it was a very nice nod to the original action figure. I can't think if there's any other thing. Oh yeah, I mean the claws are painted, which is nice because the original ones are just purple. Or I think, aren't his like... Doesn't like some of his descriptions say like raspberry belt or something like that? I don't know. It's purple looking to me. But like here you can see the glow in the dark action figure looks pretty awesome next to him. I like all of the color choices of what they decided to color green and pink and yellow and blue. There's not like a direct correlation between like what is now green and what is now pink and what is now yellow. Like the knee pads here are black on the original, they're green here. These purple highlights here are green on this. You have purple up here, and that's yellow now. So they took some, they tried to make it pretty exciting looking and try to do whatever they could to make it eye-catching. Just because I was curious, I decided to take a look at the original Slash Ultimates action figure and invert the colors to see what it looked like. And this is what it looked like, all right. Not exactly the same as this glow-in-the-dark action figure, but I don't know. I just thought it was a cool thing to do, to see if that's where they came up with the color scheme. As you turn these guys around, the original action figure had a lot of metallic paint on him, like especially on these grenades, where all the blades and everything like that was nice and metallic. You don't have any of that metallic paint on this guy, which is perfectly fine, you know. I'm all right with it. Then you just have that massive shell on the back that, oh, I almost took out the other guy. The lighter green, still yellow spikes though. That's what they kept. You know, like all of these things on his belt are just really cool, nice details that were copied very close from the original. They tightened it up a little bit. Keep going. Yeah, that's the... And then you're back to over here where, you know, you're missing that Ninja Star. And, you know, if you would have had an extra glow-in-the-dark Ninja Star right here, that would have been a very nice detail. You know, that would have really stood out. Like, I'm sure this Ninja Star is going to stand out and just may be a nice shape that you would see in the dark. So it's a little bummer that they decided to leave that out. I don't know. It's a little mind-blowing that they would decide, you know, we'll have, you know, all these extra weapons and everything like that, but we're just going to cut out the star. There is an extra weapon. I think I called it the Psycho Sword in the Ultimates review. But I kind of feel like, you know, even if, like, if they wouldn't have included this, I wouldn't have remembered that they didn't include this. I almost kind of feel like I would have rathered that extra star right there over this this extra sword. So now I'm going to talk about all of his accessories, and you know, after that I will do like an include some nice glow-in-the-dark shots of this guy with some other action figures, as well as the Ultimates lineup of the figures that I have. First up, you have Slash's Nasty Nunchaku. Now, in my original Ultimates video, I did do a very thorough comparison between all of these accessories and their original 1990 Playmates ones. So I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to talk about the Ultimates versus the glow-in-the-dark one. I like this. I like the glow-in-the-dark chain. The yellow handles and the pink spikes are nice. From what I remember, his gripping hand... Let's see if he can hold this thing okay. Oh, I was going to say that I thought he had a loose grip, but this is actually pretty nice. I do think I am wearing off the paint a little bit by squeezing that in there, but yeah, he's holding this nasty nunchuck pretty good. Next up, you have the Mutant Mace. Again, this is pretty nice. It might have been neat if they would have, I don't know, colored the spikes a different color. Or maybe if you would have made the spikes glow in the dark, but have the actual handle itself be a color, that might stand out pretty nice. But in general, it looks pretty good next to this original one. This was a pretty big item. That man, this gripping hand is very, very tight. Let's see if you can hold it with this this regular or this other gripping hand. Yeah, see, this gripping hand has a looser grip. You'd have to grab the mace like more in the middle here for him to hold it. Unless you find like a nice spike right there. You know, that spike works pretty good. Up next you have the razor sharp gnarly knife. And this is another really cool looking weapon. I like how this part right here is colored green. They didn't color the handle, but that's fine. One of my favorite things about this blade is I just love the hue of blue at the top as it goes up to the point there. Just like Slash's muscles, I think it just makes the blade really stand out. Getting him to hold this thing should be pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah, he can get a pretty good grip on this thing. Can really start dicing up some good guys with this. Up next you have the Psycho Psy. Just like the gnarly knife, you have this hue of blue at the top right here, which is again very cool. It's nice little gradients. The handle's painted on this thing, this pink color. It actually looks a little thicker than the black one. I don't know if, is that like a trick with my eyes or something like that? No, I think the handle is thicker than this original one. It's kind of strange. But you can easily put this thing in his hand. And finally, you have the weapon that I have named the Psycho Sword. This was a brand new accessory. It wasn't with the original action figure. It just looks like a stretched out Psycho Psy, but I don't know. It's a cool weapon. And again, I like this. I like the grading of blue up to the point here. They colored the handle all pink, which is fine. And that is that. Now, you got to make Slash hold both the Psycho Sword and the Psycho Psy. That way he is ready to chop up some people. There! Now he looks like nothing can stand in his way. I'm coming for you, Binky! They should have given him a glow-in-the-dark palm tree. But whatever, it's fine. You know, just like the original Ultimates Slash, he does have a collection of hands. He has these gripping hands where the hinge is a horizontal hinge. He also has gripping hands where the hinge is a vertical hinge. So you're like this. But the sculpt itself looks very similar. He has a set of fists. Ooh. And he has a very nice set of reaching hands, or grabbing hands, or maniacal expression hands. I'm going to get all of you and kill you. I just dropped his head on the floor, of course, but as I said, he has an extra head. I believe the only item that the original Slash had that's not included here is the original Slash had a weapons rack. That you know, some of these weapons have fallen off without me even touching it. But yeah, I mean, it just would have been a chunk of glow-in-the-dark plastic, and you already have pretty much everything is glow-in-the-dark already. I mean, look at that. Like 80% of this thing is glow-in-the-dark. All right, so here is a lineup of all of the Ninja Turtle Ultimates action figures that Super 7 has put out in glow-in-the-dark. All right. Now, I didn't include Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo because I figured Leonardo alone can, you know, show you what the Ninja Turtles look like as they glow in the dark. Now, if you notice here, most of these action figures come from the 1990 wave of Ninja Turtle toys. And if Super 7 would continue doing that, that would be friggin' amazing. Like if they made a glow-in-the-dark Scumbug and a glow-in-the-dark Wingnut and Screwloose, I would buy them up as soon as possible. I would love for them to do that. Hell, make the Triceraton and make a Ray Fillet glow-in-the-dark action figure. That would be friggin' awesome. You know, all of these guys look great. Hands down, my favorite are Slash and Muckman. I just think that they are amazing. I think Mutagen Man was cool. He doesn't glow as good as those two, but I don't know. There's just something about Slash and Muckman that when I look at them, I think that they are the greatest glow-in-the-dark Ultimates figures that have come out. Now, if you actually look at these guys in the dark and see how they glow, Slash and Muckman glow the best. The body parts on Mutagen Man that are made out of the same glow-in-the-dark substance, I suppose, as those guys, glows really well. But, you know, Leo, he glows okay. Maybe that green kind of dims the glow-in-the-dark a little bit. But, like, Baxter and the Foot Soldier and the Mouser, that blue glow-in-the-dark plastic, it just barely glows. It is not very vibrant. It's not very bright. But, man, you just look at Slash and Muckman, and all I can say is, wow. You know, sometimes I get sick and tired of character or toy variants, but I absolutely love these glow-in-the-dark figures. I think that they are really cool, and I just need to get myself a Michelangelo. The brand new Super 7 Ultimates Glow in the Dark Slash absolutely radiates with radical awesomeness. His brand new color scheme catches your eye and draws you in with memories of 90s nostalgia. But don't be fooled. Underneath those happy colors lies one of the most brutal mutant sculpts to ever have been sculpted. He still has all of his sharp claws and nasty teeth to match his malevolent personality, but unfortunately, he still has the same Super 7 hip problems that have pervaded this line since the beginning. You would think in 3 years they'd figure out how to tighten up those hip joints, or maybe like create a ratchet joint or something, you know. His elbows and knees work perfectly fine, which is good. On a side note, you know, I never reviewed the glow-in-the-dark turtles, but moving their knees seems very dangerous. And my Donatello has one knee that's sort of locked into place, and I feel like I'm going to snap that peg if I really try to push it to move it. Shooting these shots was okay, you know, besides the turtle knee joints and the occasional falling over due to the loose hip joints. It's definitely a bummer that one of the ninja stars is missing from the belt, but I guess that's on me, you know? I should have paid attention to the listing. But to be fair, I bet most people assumed that you were going to get 3 ninja stars. I just think, you know, during the glow-in-the-dark shots, the belt could have used one more glow-in-the-dark object on his belt to break up that negative space. I love Slash's sculpt, but beware. His design makes extreme kicks and slashes a little tricky. That's all due to design and not necessarily articulation. It's just because he's got such a big, bulky body. The only way you could really fix that is by adding, like, I don't know, maybe butterfly joints and stuff, but I would rather them not do that. You know, I like these guys to look really nice without too much articulation. I think the biggest articulation for me is I wish that his head could turn a little more to the side. You know, I think it would really help when posing him, like, giving an evil look to the side. The glow effects on this guy is absolutely wonderful. Even when he's like not in the shadows and in regular daylight, he seems to be glowing, you know? Like lots of glow-in-the-dark figures, they seem a little, I don't know, just like translucent plastic. There's something about him that just, I don't know, it just pops. It's like he's glowing all the time. Now if only I can get my wife to let me display him on our nightstand. So as I talk my way out of this one, I just wanted to show you some of the action shots from before, but in reverse. You know, now the ones that were in normal light are glow in the dark, and now some of the glow in the dark ones are in normal light. You know, I just wanted to show you because, like, no matter if you're looking at these guys in the dark or in light, they're just beautiful. Like, I really love the mix of colors. If you have like Slash and Muckman fighting on your shelf, you know, there's just something so vibrant and eye-catching, and I don't know, I just love it. So hopefully you pre-ordered yourself a copy of this dude. If not, I really hope that Big Bad Toy Store gets some in stock, because this is definitely an Ultimates that I recommend, with the asterisk of, but remember, the hips can be a problem, and most likely will be. Thanks for watching, talk to you later, and have a good one.